About 5 or 6 years ago I forged this beautiful kitchen knife at a bladesmithing class in Germany at a company called Schmiedeglut. And in all those years I haven't used this knife once in the kitchen. And that's because of several reasons, but more importantly I finally want to change that. But first let me explain to you what's wrong with this knife. So the reason why I've never been using this knife in my kitchen is because pretty quickly it didn't meet my standards anymore. The bladesmithing class really got me into knife making, and I made a ton of knives just for testing purposes and learning stuff after that. So I quickly realized what's wrong with this blade and why it really isn't much fun using it in a kitchen. So first of all, here's the spine of the blade. And you can see there's no taper at all in this whole blade. That makes the blade really heavy and thick, and it's not a nice geometry, and it won't slice through vegetables and onions, for example, as easily. Also, what you can see with this really thick cutting edge is that the edge of the knife is way too thick. So the most important thing I will do is thin down the whole blade heavily. And while I'm at it, you can see that there's a bell finish on this blade, and honestly that's a shame for a beautiful Damascus like that. So while I will regrind the blade, I will also use the opportunity to apply a beautiful hand sanding finish to this knife. Also, I want to change the shape of the blade a bit. Obviously I can't do too much, but I really don't like these bulky blades anymore, so I will try to narrow it a bit down and make it a bit sleeker and faster. And I will apply a new grind in a new ricasso here, because you can see that just isn't a beautiful view. So when I will grind in the new ricasso, I will also round over the edges here, round over the spine, and that's about it. So not really too much I will change. I will keep the handle as is, even though there are small things like the pins not being all on the same line, and also here really thick spine, so heavy handle. I mean, I could transform this to a hidden tank construction, but I don't think that is worth it, because I really like the wood, and even though I don't really make handles with a shape like this anymore, I think it's nice, it feels good, and it's a nice wood, so I will keep that. So without further ado, I would say we will start with the wet grinding of the blade. there's a pretty decent 240 grit belt finish on this knife now. Unfortunately, as I ground in deeper into the blade, two pretty big delaminations occurred. One is right at the cutting edge and one is right here in the middle of the blade. Obviously I can't do really much about that now, and since this knife is only for me, I will just live with it. If this was for a customer, I would stop at this point and make a new blade, because a delamination as big as that, and basically any delaminations aren't acceptable in Damascus blades, any blades actually. But I think I will take this up to a 400 grit belt finish now and then go to the hand sanding.
So here it is, the completely finished knife, reground, reprofile, reworked, everything except the handle. And as I said before, I really thinned out the whole blade, and now we have a really fine cutting edge all the way to the top. And I also took the opportunity to round over the choil area and of course also the spine of the knife. And what you can see here is the big delamination I unfortunately have, which is going down to the cutting edge, as you will see later. And still I have to say I will definitely use this knife in my kitchen now. I am absolutely stunned by the Damascus pattern every time I look at it. The really bright and thin stripes of nickel steel together with the two different shades of gray and dark. It is something unique and something I haven't seen before and I haven't made before. and I wish I could replicate this pattern one day, maybe hopefully without the lamination then. And here you can see where it is appearing at the right at the cutting edge, so also a little hazard for rust formation, but we will see how it holds up in the kitchen. And what you can also see at the top right corner here is my etched in maker's mark, something I've just recently started to make with blades where I can forge in my my touch mark, and even though it doesn't stand out that much on a Damascus piece, I really think it is a nice touch and a nice addition to a blade. So all I can say is thank you for watching, and if you've got any questions, feel free to comment or hit me up on Instagram. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing. And with that, I wish you all a great day and keep grinding.